Welcome to my channel. My name is Eva, and today we're going to be talking about, is this new digital age actually erasing your true identity? So more on that and so many insights in this video. So make sure you tune in and watch the entire video. If you're new to my channel, welcome so much. I'm an intuitive healer. I work with two modalities, one which is based on working with Akashic records. It's called soul alignment. And the second modality is called quantum flow, which is all about rewiring your nervous system and helping you clear deep-seated trauma, deep-seated blockages, emotional wounds, and all of that you've carried within your unconscious self, your unconscious mind, all the way from birth. So I'm going to be sharing more on how those two modalities can really help you reconnect with your most authentic self and awaken your true soul level gifts so that you can actually contribute your uniqueness and your beautiful gifts to this world. Okay, so if you're curious about these two modalities, make sure you watch until the end of this video where I'm going to be sharing more on that. Okay. So today, I want to first, I always start my lessons or my videos by actually sharing my lessons of the week. And if you're watching this, I love to know, how have you grown in this last week and this day, wherever you're tuning in to watch me from. Please share your lesson. How have you grown? How have you evolved? Because I'm all about growth and transformation and helping you awaken that for yourself as well. And we can learn so much from each other's perspective. So I always say that you never know what little contribution you can make can actually make a huge difference in someone else's life, but you'll never get to tap into that if you just keep your lessons and your ideas and your insights just to yourself. So I'm encouraging you, if you're watching me, do share your lessons with me. How have you grown? How have you evolved? What new insight have you gained in the last week, in the last month, in the last year? I don't care. Share down below. Okay. So today, my lesson for the week is, this week was all about integrating the lesson of how we actually manifest our reality. Okay. I'm currently reading a book, Conversations with God. Brilliant book. And by the way, I recommend that book to you if you're watching me. It has so many spiritual insights and so many truth bombs that just blow my mind so much. And I'm really taking my time to actually read it. Okay. But one of the things is that Neil is asking God in the book, like, how do we manifest our reality? And basically, the formula is that your thoughts, your words, and your actions have to be in alignment to actually call it into existence. And what do you mean by this? That anytime you think a thought, you're actually creating in a certain level of reality through that thought. So all your thoughts are actually creating a certain reality. This is why we really need to be careful with the kind of thoughts we're having in our mind, because most people are not aware that the kind of thoughts they have, the amount of impact they actually have in the current existence we're in right now. Remember that whatever reality we're living in right now, whatever world, whatever external reality that you're seeing all around you, whether it serves you or not, remember that you have called it into existence, starting from your thoughts. Probably if your thoughts are aligned in the negative vibration, you're always going to see negative um, reality is created all around you, and you're never going to see anything positive come out of it, because during anything that you create in external reality is always a match to who you are on the inside. So your thoughts, okay, thinking thoughts of what you actually want to see more of in the world. And I think that is an important reminder, especially in the world we live in, where we're so consumed by all the negative chaos that's happening all around us. And I know that's how we've been trained for most of our lives. Like, you watch media, you watch the news, you watch movies and all of that. It's like we've been conditioned to think in a certain way. So it takes a level of discipline to really get yourself out of this and take back control of your thoughts. Remember that your thoughts do create an actual reality. So make sure that whatever you're creating in your reality through your mind is actually in alignment with what you want to see more of. The second thing is that once you speak words, okay, remember you can also create your reality through your words. I always use this phrase, that speak it into existence. So what you say is usually a reflection of what is running in your mind, first of all. So be careful that the words that you speak, sometimes we get angry and we curse at someone, you're like, I wish you would. But remember that you're creating that reality for that person. Is that something that you want to do? Like, yes, I get it, get angry and all of that. And it's human nature to get angry, right? I'm not judging you on that, but just be careful with what kind of words you're actually speaking out loud, and not just to other people, even to yourself. What kind of conversations are you having with yourself, either in your own mind? You know, when you mess up and you're like, oh my God, I'm so this and that. That I am statement is something you really need to be mindful of because you're literally calling that identity into your existence. So be careful with the kind of thoughts you're having in your mind, both about yourself and also about other people, because you're creating that reality for them. So if you don't want to see that reality for them, why would you speak it out loud? Okay. And this ties so much into what I'm going to be talking about today. Okay. The third thing is with your actions. So the three things actually have to be in alignment that anytime you want to create a new result in your life, your thoughts, your words, your actions have to be in alignment. Okay. So remember, it's not just about thinking and speaking. You gotta take action. That's the reality we live in. You cannot create anything new. You just sitting around all day, just meditating and all of that. You have to get up and get out of your comfort zone. Okay. You have to do something different. And by doing something different, I mean taking action that's in alignment with what you want to create. So if you want to see more peace in the world, think it into existence, speak it into existence, and then go take action that is in alignment with peace. You can't be wishing for peace in your mind and speaking about, oh, what we need in this world is more peace and more people working together. And then you go outside and you create chaos for someone else. It doesn't work. It has to be in alignment. So if you want to create your reality, whatever reality is, and regardless of what area of your life you're working with, those three things always have to be in alignment. Think it first of all, let your thoughts be in alignment with that reality. Speak it so that you can actually start embodying and then take action that's in alignment with that. Okay, so I want to know your thoughts on this, okay? And if it's actually inspired you to start doing things differently for yourself. I'm currently in the process of embodying it. I think for me, it's the fact that I've embodied the thought and the speaking into existence. It's the action part that sometimes, which is actually a challenge for all of us, because sometimes, of course, procrastination, self-sabotage, when the ego mind steps in, and you're constantly having to overcome that and really integrate the lessons of discipline and consistency and all of that. That's hard for a lot of them. That's why most people don't like taking new action because it takes a lot of effort. But really, what pulls you forward is your desire of creating your results, your desire of wanting to see something different manifest in external reality. So again, if you want to create something new, thoughts, your words, your actions have to be in alignment, and then you will call that into existence. Okay. So that was my lessons for the week. And please let me know how you've grown, how you've evolved in the last week. Share down below in the comments and let's learn from each other as much as possible. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about a certain idea that I've been tapping into the last couple of, I want to say weeks or months and all of that. But I know I always speak about this on my channel. It's about really knowing thyself, and especially in the world we live in. I mean, social media opened up the world to us. Okay. So remember, like in the olden days, our ideologies, our cultures, our ideas of existence were only limited, first of all, to our families and then to the small community we found ourselves in, right? So even getting an idea or a sense of someone who lives maybe miles away from you and how their existence was in that particular town, or what cultures or what perspectives that they were tapping into, that was really hard. So you were only limited to what was around you. So the exposure about how the world works or how the world should work was just limited to the people around you. So if you're all deciding that, we gotta work hard in order to create and make money and, those kind of ideologies, there was really no exposure for something different. Social media completely changed the game. Now we started seeing each other's cultures. Now we started tapping into each other's ideas and perspectives from all over the world. You can make friends from all over the world, regardless of where you're from. You can find community in any part of the world as long as your ideas are aligned. We're no longer limited. The world is open up to us. But now there's also our, I want to say, the negative component of that, where that sense that it is so much information, so much perspective, so many opinions being shared, and it's very easy to lose sight of who you are, because anytime you turn on social media, there's always an idea like, this is how you're supposed to exist. This is the right path, and this is the way to success, and only this way makes sense, and all of that. If you have no idea of who you are, it's very easy to get pushed around left, right, center. Because one day you wake up and everyone is tapping into this person, and the following day we're canceling that person and we're tapping into someone new. And you'll constantly find yourself moving and getting lost, losing sight of yourself if you're allowing the world to define who you are. Never has that been an important time for one to actually know who they are in this world. Because if you're not careful, you're going to find yourself living another person's dream, living another person's desire that is literally not in alignment with what you and your particular soul came to experience. Every one of us has a unique coding, a unique blueprint of how we're supposed to interact with this universe. And remember that my perspective and my opinion is very unique and individual to me, same as yours. So the way that I see the world will never be the way that you see the world. The danger comes in when we start thinking that the way we see the world is wrong and the way that person sees the world is right. I understand that we can learn and grow and inspire each other. By all means, even you who's watching this video, I'm not saying that you just take my word to be true. Okay? Make sure that anytime you're tapping into a new idea, sit with yourself and practice discernment. And by practicing discernment, I mean that any kind of information, any kind of new person you're tapping into, make sure that whatever information you're gathering for yourself is something that actually brings you the greatest joy, the greatest fulfillment, the greatest love for yourself. It's something that feels safe and sacred for you. And that's never going to look the same for each of us because guess what? What feels safe and sacred to me might not feel safe and sacred to you. And that's completely okay. The world we live in is that people want to convince each other that the way that I see the world is wrong and the way that that person sees the world is right. And then we find a whole bunch of people coming in to attack that person for daring to be different, for daring to think differently. And it's this whole ideology of we gotta cancel that person because they're not doing the way, they're not doing things the way we're used to doing things. And that's not supposed to be it. We're supposed to learn from each other. Another person will never see the world the way you see it. But stop thinking that just because they see it differently, that they're right or they're wrong or better than you in any way or lesser than you in any way. They're just different. If it does not align with your belief system, with your way of operating, it's cool to say, you know what? I don't think the way you talk and the way you act is in alignment with who I am. So I'm going to leave you in peace. You go find your group elsewhere. I'll go find my people elsewhere. Because you'll always find people in community, regardless of what you're tapping into. In the world we live in, over 8 billion of people, you're not the only person who thinks the way you do. You'll probably find certain similarities, not 100%, but you'll find people who gravitate towards your ideology somewhere in the world. Just because you're not in alignment with one person does not mean that that person represents the rest of the world. Go find someone else. Stop wasting your time in trying to convince that one person to now believe in what you believe in so that you can feel whole and complete with yourself. Respect each other different perspectives. And this is what I'm saying. Knowing thyself is the most important thing you can do for yourself. Knowing your values, knowing what actually drives you. Because you see, if you know yourself, then you know that if, like, for example, I am an integral person, okay? I'm all about integrity, I'm all about authenticity. So even in my outside reality, the kind of experiences that I want to have and the kind of people I want to attract are the ones who actually embody these traits. So anyone who goes against this, anyone who lacks integrity, I just don't mess around with them. Because remember, I'm like, no, I don't align with that value, and I walk away. Anyone I might deem not to be authentic, I'm gonna walk away because that is not in alignment with my values. But you see, I know what my values are. Most people, what they normally do is that I know that person is not in alignment, but the whole world is telling me to love that person. I'm just gonna love them because the whole world says I should love them. And maybe you're tapping into something that is in zero alignment to your soul's purpose, your soul's true path. So you keep on following the world because the world says, okay, so now we're gonna love on this person, we're gonna give them attention, we're gonna watch their clips, we're gonna share the clips and all of that because this is the it thing, right? And then you just go there, even though you know in your heart person is not in alignment with my soul. And we see it right now, right? There are a lot of people who have the kind of, I want to say, who are celebrated in the world. Okay, I'll share from my perspective. I don't care how the world views a certain person. I literally look at this individual. What are they speaking about? What are they doing with their lives? What are they teaching people? What kind of things, this kind of, how do they actually exist? Is this in alignment? Is this something that actually inspires me? Is it something that can actually have transformational value for my own reality? Because that's the only reason I'm gathering information about a person. It has to be something that actually helps me grow or can help someone else around me to grow. Then I can sit down and pay attention to me. But I'm not just going to go and follow a person just because the whole world says we need to follow that person. If they're not in alignment with me, I'm not going to do that. And here's the thing, you don't need to keep on explaining yourself to other people because that's the thing now. Because most people now, they make you feel wrong for that. And then you have to justify why, why you're taking that position and you're constantly having to fight people off because everyone is like, no, 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 you're supposed to be doing things like this. No, most people, and how I want you to look at it, have zero idea of who they are as an individual. So remember that a lot of people are living the reality based on the people around them, based on the conversations around them. And these are the people that you want to follow, and you want to mistrust yourself. You want to mistrust your inner guidance. My thing is, the most important relationship will always be the relationship you have with yourself. I always say with yourself and also with God. But for this case, I'll say with yourself. Okay? Because your soul knows what it came here to experience. Your soul knows what it came here to do. So not all paths are going to match or be in alignment with what you came here to experience. And that's completely fine. Make peace with the fact that maybe the path that you're on is going to look so different from the people around you. That's completely okay. Get comfortable with that. It makes people uncomfortable anytime you deem or dare to just stand out, even for a little bit. It makes a lot of people uncomfortable. But you gotta make peace with that. Just because they say that you have to follow this person, that has no mean you have to follow them. Make sure they are in alignment with your values. The other thing that I'm seeing people do is that now, assuming that you're waiting for the world to tell you, now we're gonna follow this person and this is the eating and all of that, and then somewhere along the line, this person that you're following happens to make a huge mistake. What happens? We go to cancel culture, right? That's the world we live in. Okay. So you cancel this person, and what do people do now? They start blaming each other. You're the one who told me to love this person. You're the one who told me this and this and this. And there's lack of taking responsibility as to why did I gravitate towards that person. Okay, so now we're not even canceling just the one person who made the mistake. We're canceling all those other people who made the mistake of telling you to follow that person and not taking individual responsibility. Why did you have to listen? Why did you just have to follow that person? Because it's deeply individual to you. The reason why you get attracted to certain people is because they embody certain characteristics. Either you're aspiring to have, okay, something you're desiring for yourself. So maybe you might enjoy their lifestyle and you tend to consume to follow them because you want to see how do I create this for myself, which again is okay. But if this is not in alignment with who you are, like for example, yes, we see there's certain people who embody wealthy lifestyle, but the way they went about creating that wealth is not really in the best case or sense for humanity. Is that kind of something that you want to bring into your life? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with going against humanity just to call in wealth? If you're not, then why are you following people just because the world told you to follow this person? If they don't embody the values that you want to see, that you want to experience for yourself, if they don't embody the values that actually determine or form who you are, why are you following them? Okay. And this is why, again, I'll keep saying, knowing thyself is so important. Sometimes your inner spirit, your soul will guide you towards certain paths, towards certain individuals who to the world will not make sense. I'll give you an example, okay? There are certain teachers I tap into, and I expect, because I love my teachers so much. They teach me so much. But remember, it's because we're a vibrational match, or their teachings are a vibrational match to what I'm here to experience. So for me, they just make sense. When I share my teachers or I share my teachings or with the people around me, my friends or something, they don't resonate as much as I do. And for me, for the life of me, it used to sort of just bamboozle me, if I can use that word. I hope that's the right word. It used to shock me because I'm like, how do you not like this person? Because I'm like, for me, their teachings are just like, they blow my mind each and every time. But when I share that teaching with some of the other people, they don't have the same experience because that teacher is not their permission slip, and that's okay. So I've learned to accept people as they are. I don't need to push it down their throats like now because this teacher and this teachings worked for me, it has to work for you. I completely understand everyone who is here has their different permission slips. Okay, the different teachings that they are in alignment to that are supposed to help them to grow and evolve. We're all different. So what works for me might not work for you, and that's completely okay. I'm never gonna force it down on you. Okay. So really be mindful that anything you're following, let it be in alignment with what you're here to experience. And here is the thing: just because you follow one person does not mean you agree with them 1,000 or 100%. So that's the other mistake you normally make. And now I'm just gonna follow blindly that I don't care what the world says. Don't ignore the red flags, okay? Because remember, this person is also human. Don't expect perfection from them, which is the other thing that people make mistakes with, right? That they just want that person to be perfect. They can never make a mistake. Everyone is allowed to be imperfect, the same way that you're allowed to be imperfect. I always say this: extend the same grace that you wish to receive for yourself. If you make a mistake, do you want people to just be reminding you and pointing fingers at you and condemning you all the time, even though you've learned your lesson, even though you've grown and evolved from that, you're no longer that person? Do you want people to constantly be reminding you, this is what you did, this is what you did? It's crazy. Allow people to make mistakes. Have kindness, have compassion, have understanding. That person is also human, just like you. Of course, there's certain things which are just, if they go against the laws of society, then walk away from that person because we do have laws for a reason. Okay. But if at all they're just making common mistakes, that you, if you were in that position, probably you make the same mistakes again. Why wouldn't you not extend the same kind of compassion and understanding to them? Allow them to make their mistakes and accept them as human, the same way that you're human. You're allowed to make mistakes, right? Okay. And the other thing that I want to tell you is that, again, don't follow someone 100% that just because I like them, I'm going to like them 100%. Even with yourself, you always love for yourself, right? Love and compassion for self. But I can't say that you like everything about yourself because there's certain things that you know very well you need to improve, right? So you can't always say, I'm just going to allow and not work on the things that you need to work on. And the same goes for your loved one. You love your mother, you love your father, you love your parents, your siblings, all of that, your children, all of that. But you don't love everything about them. There's certain qualities they embody. Maybe because they're different, maybe because you just don't get it, or maybe because just basically it's just a wrong path for them to follow. But it doesn't take away the love that you have for them. It's just simply that I just don't align with that. And that's the same way you look at all these people that you follow, all these teachings that you tap into. Don't just accept it to be 100% true. Again, practice discernment. Let it be in resonance with you and what you're here to experience. If it's not, be like, you know what? I respect you for saying that. I just don't feel it's right for my path. And that's completely okay and walk away. What most people do is like, now I'm going to attack this person. And then you find someone just writing paragraphs of why they think that person is wrong and trying to force it down their throat, like, this is why you're wrong and all of that. No, remember that this person is seeing the world the way that they're designed to see it. It's not wrong, it's not right, it just is. You're the one who's attaching that goodness or badness to it. Okay, so if you don't align, just say it doesn't resonate with me, and that's okay. Don't have to go and make that person. You can share your ideas of why, maybe a different perspective that might help the other person learn if they're willing to accept it, but not making it like they have to accept it as the absolute truth. You have a way of seeing the world, and they also have a way of seeing their own um, world, their own perspective, and each of it is unique and each of it is important. You can't have one without the other. We're meant to learn and grow from each other and inspire each other. If it was just one path and one ideology, then we will only have one path and one ideology in existence. We will not have all these different perspectives to tap into. It will just be one way of operation. But because we're so different, we look different, we have different cultures, we have different belief systems, all of that, we're supposed to actually grow and find a way to coexist with each other, borrow from each other, learn from each other, see what you can incorporate from the different cultures, from the different beliefs. Again, as long as it's in resonance with your highest truth. Okay. So does it bring you the greatest joy, the greatest love, the greatest fulfillment? If it does not, walk away from it. Okay. And sometimes there are teachers you tap into, and then once you've outgrown them, it's time to tap into someone else. And I know I've shared this before. When that happens, it's just be like, you know what? I used to mess with you, or I used to agree with you when we started, but right now I think the path you're on is not in alignment with what I want to experience. So let me go find someone else and let that person continue inspiring who they're here to experience. And you go and inspire who you're meant to experience. Okay. The other thing I wanted to say is that also listening to yourself. Again, this is what I was mentioning before. Sometimes your spirit will always convince you or try to, or give you insight as to maybe walk away from certain situation or walk away from certain people that are not in alignment with yourself. Okay, I mentioned this before. Sometimes, okay, it might not make sense to you, and I'll give an example. There's so many relationships that I normally get like an inkling. Something is off. And most of the time, I'm never able to tell what is off about that person or that particular situation. It's just kind of like an inner feeling of, I don't know, uh, just something. And that's what I normally tell the people around me, like, "There's something is off, and I don't know, I can't put my finger on it." So usually I will ignore this because the people around me will be like, ah, no, maybe that's just you. And I'll also tell myself the same thing. I talk myself out of it. Only 4 months later, for me to figure out why I was getting that warning to walk away from that person or that situation. Okay. Most people ignore that voice, and every one of us has that voice, that gut feeling. We all have it. You know how you just walk into a space and you're like, no, something is off with this energy. Let me just walk away. That, if you can train yourself to listen to that, that will be your greatest compass in life, not the people around you, because it's deeply, uniquely suited to your own ideas and your own needs and your own desires. So it will never steer you wrong. If you can train yourself to listen to that internal compass, you can go so far in life. For me, I get warnings about people or situations months before. Sometimes I ignore it, only for me later to just end up suffering from that same situation. I'm like, I should have listened. When my inner spirit or when my inner guidance told me to walk away, I didn't listen. I fought it. So nowadays, when I get that inkling, sometimes it never makes sense to the people around me. I'll just take the action and be like, I don't know why I have to do this. I just know I have to do this. Sometimes it can be months or even years or even days before I figure out why I had to walk away. And that's happened to me multiple times. So you don't always have to have the reason why. Just trust it. It will never steer you wrong. It only wants the best for you. You gotta practice discernment with that because sometimes it's also your ego mind. And I can train you on that. That's something you have to practice and take action on and build that beautiful relationship with yourself. Open that path and just let that spirit or let that inner voice guide you. Okay, you can only do that once you're taking action. Because sometimes you'll think something will like you'll talk yourself out of it and all of that. If at all, whatever you tap into creates great results for you, then you'll know you're speaking to your inner spirit. If it does not, then probably you're listening to your ego mind. So don't be afraid of making mistakes. It's like, okay, fine, I messed up, but I learned a lesson. Now, next time this happens, I'm going to do this and this and this. And this is how you train yourself. Okay. So I think that was the end of my life. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is that, especially right now, with I want to say with people calling out for good leadership and all of that. And that's, I think, a cry all over the world. People just want to change. Okay. And everyone is just looking like, who do we trust? Who do we listen to? And because it's a lot of news and it's like all sides are trying to demonize this other side that sometimes they might get confusing. Who do I follow? Who do I trust? Who do I this? Because the minute you put your faith in this person, the next minute you're just hearing like, oh, something bad came up about this person. So again, please know who you are, know what your values are, and know why you're believing or choosing to follow a certain ideology. If it makes sense to you, maybe for the rest of the world it has not caught up yet, that's okay. Follow that path, honor that path. Even if the people around you are like against it, it does not matter. It's because that person is in alignment with your values, okay? And stick to that. Even if it doesn't make sense to the people around you, take responsibility also for your choice so that you're no longer blaming other people that it is the media that told me to believe in this person. If that person is doing something that feels off to you, don't listen to the media. But if in case you did, take responsibility and be like, you know what, next time I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to practice my own discernment to figure out what path to follow, what person to tap into, what information to listen to. I'm taking back my power. Okay. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you do like the kind of content I share out here, make sure you subscribe to my channel and also click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any kind of videos or insights that I normally share every week. Okay. So I promise I will share with you what my work is, soul alignment and quantum. Okay. So I'm just going to do a short presentation for you that if you want to connect with me and want to go deeper to awakening and reconnecting with your true self, you can check out what soul alignment is about and you can book a discovery call with me just to see if any of these two modalities are a good fit for you or not. If they are, I'll be so happy to just be part of your healing journey and help you awaken your most authentic self. Okay. So let me just share this really quickly. I hope you can see my screen. Share. Okay, so what is soul realignment? Soul realignment is basically a spiritual healing modality that is based on understanding your soul's unique blueprint. Okay, so remember, I've shared that every one of us has a unique code, a unique blueprint that we're supposed to operate with in the world that contains your divine nature, your divine gifts, your soul level gifts. Most people have no idea what unique contributions they have to the world. So it's soul alignment. You get to connect with that, especially from your soul level perspective. It's a modality that's based on working with the Akashic records, okay? And it's all about realigning how you show up in your human experience and helping you realign with your original divine soul blueprint. So remember that we've lived so many lifetimes, and in all those lifetimes, some of our choices have really taken us away from who we were supposed to be. So it's so relevant. It's bringing you back to how you were originally created to experience your physical reality. So its core principles are it connects you, it actually gives you practical, useful information that you can tap into. That if you start taking action, so remember, I'm all about taking you action, okay, so that you can create great results. So it's soul realignment. It's actually giving you practical, useful information about who you are, how you're supposed to operate in the world, and also ideas of how you can start taking different actions to create beautiful results in different areas of your life. So from your health to your relationships to your finances and all of that. It's all about really giving you back your power, okay? And helping you take responsibility for the results that you've created thus far. No longer blaming the people around you, but really taking full responsibility and saying, hey, my choices actually contributed to this. So if I do something different, I can create something different for myself. So it's taking back your power and taking back the kind of reality you're creating for yourself, okay? So again, of course, you also get to heal at an energetic level. So with this modality, it's really healing your blueprint at the Akashic level, at a 5D level, clearing all these negative karmic patterns using cards in your different lifetimes energetically, which will actually eventually impact your physical reality because now you'll no longer be a vibrational match to all these experiences and all these people that you've been attracting in your life thus far. So with this, actually, it's how you actually get to heal is healing through awareness. So by awareness, meaning that no true healer actually heals you, a true healer actually helps you heal yourself, which is what we do with soul realignment. So by being aware of of what choices you made in the past, of who you are and all of that, you actually get to say yes to that healing. And just by you saying yes, you get to clear all of this negative karmic experiences you picked up for yourself. So it's not me healing you. I'm just bringing awareness to you so that you can actually heal yourself. My job is just to set the intention and to bring awareness to how you're supposed to basically exist in this reality. So, soul relevant is for you if you're feeling stuck in repetitive negative patterns, whether in finances, relationship, or health. There's a reason for that, probably tied to a past life, that you may negative stresses that are currently affecting you right now. If you're struggling with your self-identity, feeling disconnected to your true purpose, constant roadblocks and challenges that seem to have no clear cause or solution, if you're having difficulty understanding why certain relationships, certain situations seem to repeat and causing you so much stress, if you're sensing that you're keeping on attracting the same kind of patterns, the same kind of traumas, and unexplained fears that just don't make sense, that are still influencing you currently, if you're lacking clarity about what kind of direction you're supposed to take in life, and all these other things that are on your screen right now, then soul realignment will be a great fit for you. So if you're curious, do book a session with me, book a discovery call just to see if it's a good fit for you or not. Okay. The second modality is called quantum flow. So quantum flow is all about, it's actually an embodiment mechanism that is based on working with breathwork, sound, and movement to help you rewire your nervous system and restore balance to your body and mind. So the beauty about quantum flow is that it just doesn't work with just one area of your life. It works in different areas, from your mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic well-being, and all of that. It's different areas of your life that you get to rewire and release all those things that have been keeping you stuck, that have been keeping you blocked, all your deep-seated traumas, the emotional blockages. Remember that all the trauma you've experienced in your life, they're just not imprinted at a mind level. They're also recorded within your body system. So if whatever healing modality you're tapping into is not incorporating the body into that, you find that healing, you will eventually heal, but it takes such a long time. In your quantum flow, we actually get to accelerate that healing aspect for you. If you want to get a bit of a taste of what quantum flow is, I've shared a couple of different quantum flow meditations for you that you can tap into just to kind of experience a bit of a taste of what that is. And I'm also going to be sharing a quantum flow meditation to go with this particular topic I was talking about today. So if you want to experience what quantum flow might be and what it can do for your life, tap into those meditations. But if you want to go deeper and really, really tap into your sense of flow, align with your purpose, cultivate a state of unshakable calm, especially in the chaotic world we live in, then quantum flow will be a good fit for you. So, okay, quantum flow again will help you if you're struggling with constant mental fog or difficulty concentrating, maybe leading to low productivity in your work. If you're struggling with anxiety, struggling with stress, feeling overwhelming and unmanageable sense, okay. If you're feeling physically and emotionally drained, unable to relax or achieve inner peace, if you're experiencing any kind of physical pain or tension, some of our pain is actually has to do with the energy blockages that we have within our body. And once you start releasing them, you find it impacting also your physical well-being. Of course, it's not a cure for everything, right? Because you always have to listen to what your doctor says, but it can really help you accelerate the healing aspect for yourself. If you have difficulty controlling your emotions, if you're feeling disconnected from a higher purpose, your intuition, you're not able to really listen to that inner guidance that I was talking about today, quantum flow can really help accelerate that and help you tap into more of who you are. So if you're curious about any of these two modalities, do book a session with me. You can scan the QR code that is on the screen right now. Okay. And just scan the QR code or book a session with me with the link down below in the description box. Okay. So thank you so much for tuning in again. Make sure that you subscribe and also click on the notification bell so that you get alert of every time I go live. So thank you so much. And I hope I will see you on the next video. Make sure you tune in to check out the quantum flow meditation I'll be sharing later on within the week, just to help you embody the insights and the truth that I've shared in this video. Thank you so much and sending you so much love. Bye for now.